we're good to go. Yep.
Okay. Oh, John.
And I believe we're ready. Are you ready, Ellen and Heather?
I'm ready.
We do have a quorum. We were expecting Chair Irwin. I don't see him on yet, but we have a quorum, so we could start. Trustee Eames.
I'm here.
Thank you.
Oh, there he is. We're all set.
Okay, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
I would like to call the ASA committee meeting to order and ask Ellen if she might take the roll call for the meeting, please.
Certainly. Trustee Doak. Trustee Doak. We'll come back to him. Trustee Eames.
Did you hear me, Ellen, here?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Trustee Irwin.
Here.
Trustee McMahon.
Yeah.
Trustee Mishu.
Here.
Trustee Tim.
She's here.
Trustee Tim.
Here, my space bar didn't work that time.
And Trustee Doak.
Here.
We also have some non-trustee committee members joining us. Trustee Riley.
Here.
Trustee Eustace. Okay, we are all set.
Thank you, Ellen.
Chair Eames, may I start with a quick update to the agenda?
Yes.
With your permission, we would like to pull the strategic plan presentation from University of Maine at Presque Isle so we can reschedule it with future strategic planning work. And we would come back to that in the future.
That's fine. We don't need a motion for that, right, Robert?
No, ma'am.
All right. Well, I'd like to begin by welcoming everyone to our fall meeting. I need to remind all of you to please leave your mics muted when you're not speaking. And I will first introduce I think I turn the program at this point over to Robert for the statewide strategic program planning initiative.
Thank you very much. So first, thank you to everyone that have given me guidance over the past few weeks on the statewide strategic program plans. I will keep today's presentation short because these plans will evolve with all the work that is underway for unified accreditation and strategic planning. So as soon as NETCHI approved our unified accreditation, and obviously well before that, we began examining our procedures and practices internally to make sure they're aligned. And we have taken iterative steps to pull all that together to build a framework laid out by our guiding principles. And although these are just the beginnings of a plan, I'm pleased to share 2 draft statewide strategic program plans. These drafts and the actual work that went into building them, which is almost more important, will provide us with a strong unified foundation that will help us improve quality and become more efficient. A team in the VCA office first built a template for SSPP, Statewide Strategic Program Plan development. The templates included sections in statewide vision, university distinction, data and economics, a full SWOT analysis, which is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and of course, measurable goals. We decided to begin with 2 programs, nursing and education. We chose them because they are already excellent collaborators. They have programs that are tightly integrated with external partners, and they have excellent and dependable leaders. I then met with the presidents, the provosts, the program leaders to explain the plan in detail. I asked the leaders of the nursing and education departments to come together to begin drafting these plans. And in addition to the normal pressures of starting fall, these folks have had their hands full, to say the least, planning safe return during the pandemic. But they still managed to come together, meet regularly, and give us a great start. I want to emphasize, and I'll do so many times, that these plans are incomplete. They do not include in-depth market research, analysis of data, inventory of resources, external partner comment, nor do they roll up yet to the bigger strategic plan that we will undertake soon. However, the SSPP's project has already paid dividends. And I'll give a couple of examples. The education leaders, as I said, they've started meeting regularly. And over the past few weeks, have had to help each other find ways to fulfill teacher placement in lieu of COVID-19. Their system-wide solution will create new learning opportunities that would have otherwise been impacted by the pandemic, and in doing so, save the system thousands of dollars. The nursing deans and directors are already using the plan to focus on statewide goals, and one of those being to improve NCLEX nursing exam pass rates. The group, you'll see that it's written in the plan. The group has started to actually already take action. They're creating a set of materials to help students prepare and in test preparation, and then also to share teaching practices, courses, and so forth among the universities. So I couldn't be more pleased with the immediate progress and the potential for improvement in quality to the course. And of course, you already heard us, the nursing deans and directors came to present to you previously on their work to aid the state emergency management agency. And their response was just absolutely amazing and appreciated by the state and all of our constituents. Their response really was possible because of their commitment to their field and their desire to work so closely together. So we're building on that with these plans. As I said in the beginning, we chose these two programs to learn, to refine the best approaches, and to build on. We will continue to improve on these plans, strengthen the program collaborations, and integrate future system strategic planning. As we gain a better idea how these plans can best support our goal for unified accreditation, we'll then start to add other programs. The SSPP approach is maybe not the right path for every single program, but we do see a potential already for programs like data science and technology, law, social work, and of course, the work we're already starting with the GIS folks. So before I introduce the next set of academic program requests, do you have any questions about the SSPPs?
Chair Ames, this is Trustee McMahon.
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
Looking at the nursing program, which is of particular interest to me, if the chair would bear with me for 30 seconds, I'm married to an RN, the father of an RN, an uncle of an RN, the brother-in-law of two RNs, and actually my mother-in-law and her sister were both RNs. So it is of some interest to me. I'm curious, though, about the articulation between the community college system, associate degree in nursing, and the BSN, given my understanding that more and more jobs today are requiring a BSN. Could somebody comment on that?
I'm looking, I don't. Janine, Joe, I see Joe raising his hand.
So you're right, is that to get magnet status for hospitals, that they need a certain percentage of nurses to achieve a baccalaureate status. What we do have in many of our programs in the University of Maine system is what we have is an RN to BSN. So we have to always look at the 4-year pre-licensure programs, which all of us have, but also the RN to BSN allows those 2-year associate's degree nursing students to continue on within the University of Maine system and achieve that bachelor's status. So we do have pathways for these students in the community colleges to achieve that status. Thank you.
I might also add, I don't want to speak for my colleagues at Fort Kent, but their RN to BSN program is entirely online. That's one marketed through academic partnerships and serves an increasing number of people in the state of Maine, including people with 2-year degrees, as well as outside of the state of Maine. Probably the largest single individual RN to BSN program there is in the system.
And in fact, that track goes right directly into the USM MSN program. So you can, through the partnership between Fort Kent and USM, you can go from RN to MSN seamlessly online. But it sounds like we might need to address articulations with community colleges better in our strategic planning document, which is a great idea.
And thank you, Janine, and rightly so, because we do have agreements with all the community colleges on our articulation into the system, as stated. Did that answer your question, sir?
Yes. it
All
did.
right.
Okay.
Are there other questions?
And before we pass it to USM, may I make an introductory remark?
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you. So I introduced the statewide strategic program plans while they're still in drafting stage to put context to the education program requests you have before you today. We have a number of programs that have been on hold. 2 in particular have been on hold for going on 3 years. These program requests will cost little to nothing to implement, but they will help us immensely. And there's, if we want to move forward thinking about these programs in a unified sort of way, we have to pull them together. So they will help us organizationally by, first of all, recognizing all the education programs we already have. And for example, USM and UMA have operated education programs on a large scale, but they're not coded as education. So to use our resources more efficiently, we first have to complete the picture of all resources available. If we were reporting our pure education programs right now, we wouldn't even include a majority of our education degrees. So a full, accurate accounting of our programs will help us to uncover opportunities to share courses, faculty, best practice, technology, and et cetera. The conversations between the presidents, provosts, and deans have already been rich with discovery since beginning the SSPP, which is a goal of mine. As we work to unify week by week, we learn more about each other's programs and the depth, the quality that already exists and what can be shared amongst the institutions. The potential for efficient collaboration and improvement in quality is just great. So, and more importantly than our internal needs, which obviously is important, students will benefit from these changes because they will obtain a credential that is more valued by the hiring agents in the state. So I won't belabor the importance of the requests much more because the universities will provide you the detail, but I did want to stress the need to adapt and develop as we look to cut and become more efficient. I will present our final enrollment in November, where I expect we will be flat from last year. As of last night, we are only 0.5% down, or 90 students across the entire system. And I say only down because my prediction last year for this year's fall enrollment was between 4 and 6% down, and that's based on a lot of factors, but primarily on the decline in the state's K-12 population. And additionally, we had well over 200 students, UM alone had over 200, that have indicated to us that, so they matriculated, they intend to enroll, but they are delaying their start because of COVID. And we all can understand why families and students have made that choice. So we would potentially have been well up from last year, and by all indications of these students' intention, we will be up tremendously in either the spring or the next fall, depending on how things shake up with the COVID-19. So all things considered, our enrollment is nothing short of incredible in my mind. And this was possible because of the development that we have done with our programs. Adding programs like cyber at UMA and USM, we moved more online. We made numerous admission changes, innovative changes down at the program level. Program directors have moved with light speed in areas we would never thought possible before to reinvent themselves and their processes. The MBA program is a great example, led by Scott Delcourt, Faye Gilbert, and Jamie Ballinger. Tremendous growth, over 20%. We'll see how it shakes out at the end, and that was due to all the changes they made in a very rapid nature. So I hope you will consider and approve the following requests to go to the full board. And that concludes my remarks.
Do you want to turn it over to Janine, or shall I?
Sure. The first program we have is a Bachelor's in Science in Elementary Education. And Janine, would you like to lead us in that?
Good morning. I think President Cummings is here, and he might like to say a few words before I give the details.
Yeah, thank you, Janine, and thank you, Robert. I just wanted to say thank you to Robert for unifying these approaches. What you're going to see is a series of requests that have been unified, and quite frankly, unified accreditation makes these proposals possible. We have done a lot of research in the system and at USM about elementary education, particularly in our request, and apparently the significance of the gap is enormous. We hear it from K through 12 superintendents on a regular basis. We think the market is about 400 elementary teachers short each year in Maine for what the demand actually needs. So this comes not only to bring in unified accreditation and how we can work together, but it also is clearly filling a market gap that needs to be done. I will say from our point of view, we have been historically hindered by we actually have a very strong elementary education program, but nobody can find us on the web. So if you actually put in elementary education, you can't find us. So this actually gives the designation for something that we've already been doing, but it also allows us to expand. And most importantly, financially, this actually is a good cost savings to us, and I think hopefully to others at UMA and Farmington and others, because similar to what we did with cybersecurity with UMA, we were not in a position to go out and hire new faculty. So what we wanted to do is to take advantage of UMA, Farmington, and other places in the system to be able to use their courses, and they use our courses in order to save money and still get our students. So I'll turn over the details to Janine, but I just wanted you to hear kind of the movement that's being made here in the system today with these proposals, how we're meeting a gap, and specifically how it's important for us to save some money in the long run for us to, or immediately for us to save money as we move into hopefully a greater market share compared to some of our competitors who have been taking outside the system, have been taking some of these graduates. I'm going to turn it over to Janine.
Thanks, Glenn. Good morning, everyone. It's nice to be here with you. So I will just add a little bit more meat on the bones of the data that the president shared with you. The 2018-2019 Burning Glass data shows that there are 499 job postings for elementary education majors in Maine, with an average salary of $43,000 per year. And that while 9 universities do offer elementary education in the state, they only are producing about 166 graduates per year. So there's a significant gap between the number of job postings, nearly 500, and the number of elementary education majors being produced in Maine. And so there's significant need and room to develop these programs. I want to underline what the president said, which is that before bringing these proposals that you'll see today to this body, Joe Zakis and Eric Brown and I did a lot of work together to set the stage for strategic state planning, but also to just create an understanding that we will use one another's resources and share faculty where we can, using online courses. So that's exciting. And I think, we can pool the resources of the state in new ways under unified accreditation. I want to say a little bit about what USM already does, because what we're proposing is to add a major in elementary education. But we already have a program in elementary education that certifies students to be able to work as elementary school educators in the schools. Because we don't have a major in elementary education, our students have to declare a major in English or math or biology or something else that's not elementary education. But we currently have 178 students in our elementary education track. They just are majoring elsewhere. This creates some barriers for the students and some difficulties for our faculty, because students want to major in elementary education, and they come to us and we say, we don't have that, you can't. You have to major in math or something else, English, liberal studies, and then you add the certification track. This ends up meaning that the students who are in that elementary education track have a faculty advisor and a major who is not in education. And the rest of the faculty at the university don't understand that education track as well as our education faculty. And so we have this somewhat clunky dual advising program where students are going back and forth between being advised in their major and being advised by the education faculty on the side. So we'd like to correct that and give students the pathway they want and the advising that they need. And at the same time, it's clear to all the educators on this call that the best thing for an elementary school teacher is to have a program, a major designed for elementary school teachers who have to teach every one of the standard divisionary subjects. So they teach social science, they teach science, they teach math, language arts. And it's better to have that well-rounded major than to ask them to focus in English. So we see this as an important academic and advising move for us. And this is different from high school, where you might want to have your high school French teacher major in French and do a certification track alongside that. But for the elementary school teacher, there are just such specific and also multidisciplinary demands that the elementary major is the best thing for them. At the same time, as the president indicated, the way data is pulled now, things are much more automated. And so if our majors are not coded in such a way that they can be pulled by agencies like FAME Maine or other places that are doing reporting on what we offer in the University of Maine system, those programs won't pop up as available here. And so some of this really is to clean up the way that our data goes out into the external community. Because what we're seeing in the market right now, the way we are coded at USM is that we don't offer education when in fact we do. And so we need to clean up that reporting side. And then, finally, I would just add that we understand it is not worth our time in Maine, and it's not good for anyone here or the students, the people of Maine, for us to compete. So I want to just say a little bit about USM students. The average age of a USM student is 26. So we are teaching the young adults and people sometimes in their 30s or 40s who are looking to change careers, who are looking to make, often they want to go into education, but they're place bound here. They're already working, they already have families. And often these are new Mainers who have children in the school districts. They might be working as an ed tech, but they want to add that degree so they can work in the schools as teachers. We want to help them do that, but they are place bound in Southern Maine. The majority of our students come from Cumberland and York counties. And so that's where we're focusing our efforts. And we want to take advantage of these working adults who would like to make a change and like to work in the schools. This would also help meet the goals of Portland Public Schools in particular to diversify their faculty and staff. So we're really not looking to compete here. We're looking to serve our local community, and then looking to partner with Farmington and Augusta in particular, but with all the University of Maine system schools as they are interested in delivering these new programs. So I do see this, USM is presenting right now, but our proposal is very much in support of and complementary to what you're going to hear from Farmington and Augusta in a few minutes. So I think I'll leave it there. It's possible that Andrea Stairs Davenport has joined the call. I'm not sure if she's on or not, but I'm happy to take questions. I know Glenn would be happy to take questions, and I think I'll stop there. Thank you.
Thank you, Janine. Chair Eames.
Yes, are there any questions? None? All right.
Chair Ames,
Yes.
Trustee McMahon.
Just a quick question for Janine. You're certifying teachers to Maine standards. Would they be able to teach outside the state of Maine when they graduate from your program, or is that not possible?
We can't guarantee that for every state, but we do have reciprocal agreements. So our students, I believe, can teach in New Hampshire and Massachusetts through an agreement, but I would have to leave that to the education experts. I think Kathy Yardley is on the call and she could probably answer that. But we can't guarantee that for every state.
Andrea is on the call. I saw her shaking her head. Yes. Would you like to?
Good morning, everybody. Yes, I don't know the exact number. Maybe Kathy does, but most of the states in the United States have reciprocity agreements with us in terms of certification because we're asking our teachers to meet national standards. They're called in-task standards for new teachers, and those are quite standard across the nation. And the only thing I would add, I think Janine covered it all, is we're really excited about the prospect of growing teachers who are ready to teach culturally and linguistically diverse students, because we've seen, as you all know, a large growth in that student population, particularly in Cumberland and York counties. So our elementary education major aims to continue to do that as well. And I would say it's inspiring how many people are still interested in becoming teachers. When you consider how tough the job is, and it's tougher now due to COVID, I know students are really happy to be with their teachers, albeit online or a couple of days a week. And we're thrilled that there are Mainers who attend the UMaine system who are still interested in becoming certified and teaching our students.
Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you. Any other questions or observations?
Chair, I have an observation.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm really happy to see this move is being taken place across the state of Maine. And I'll be honest with you, for a long time when we thought of elementary education, we didn't think of USM. So I think it's a valiant move and a timely one. Also, what it does, it blankets the state on what is needed in Maine schools, especially at the elementary level, to all work together to provide that service. As much as an elementary teacher is general in its topics, we do need strong people with behavior backgrounds, reading ability backgrounds, early limited language backgrounds. These are all courses that you could actually modify and move from year to year to make sure every campus addresses some of this, because it becomes a main need. And one thing I really like about it too, it's really going to probably streamline the certification process for these students. I hate students leaving one campus thinking they have an elementary degree and they go to the State Department and they find out they haven't met all the state requirements for certification. So I think this aligns that. I think it's a great move for the university system, and it's a great move for Maine schools going forward. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Any other questions or observations? Hearing none, I'll read the resolution. That the Academic and Student Affairs Committee forwards the following resolution to the consent agenda for approval at the Board of Trustees meeting on September 28, 2020. That the Board of Trustees authorizes the creation of the Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Doak. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
I'm not quite sure who that was at.
Trustee Mishu.
All right, and Ellen, you can take the roll call if you would, please.
Certainly, thank you. Trustee Joke,
Yes.
trustee Eames,
Yes.
trustee Irwin,
Yes.
trustee McMahon,
Yes.
trustee Mishu,
Yeah. Yes.
trustee Tim.
Yes.
The motion is carried.
Thank you so much, everyone. Great step forward, and thank you, Trustee Doak. Great supportive words. The next group of requests we have two sets, so we're taking them separately, are from University of Maine at Farmington. You've heard sort of the lead up, and I'll let them talk about their programs more.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Trustee Eames. I want to begin just by echoing the sentiments of my colleagues at USM. Grateful for Robert Placido for coordinating these programs through the statewide strategic planning process. I do think that we've reached a point where collectively we see these as complementary pieces to a larger statewide effort. So I'm grateful to all of my colleagues who've been working on that particular plan and for those conversations we've had around these specific programs. I'll start. I have two programs proposed today. I'll start with the Bachelor's of Science in School Health Education with a concentration in physical education. I know you all have the executive summaries in front of you and the full proposals, so I'll be brief and just highlight a few of the salient features here of this particular proposal. So UMF for a long time has offered a program leading to licensure in K through 12 school health education through our community health education major. This degree would allow for dual certification for the first time in both school health education and physical education, producing graduates with more versatile preparation entering the workforce. And it is an increasing workforce demand that teachers cover both of these areas, both school health education and physical education out of one position. And this is especially the case in rural schools that are constrained in terms of staffing. I think another core feature of this is that it is a collaborative effort with the University of Maine Presque Isle. Presque Isle will offer physical education courses online that UMF students will take towards the certification. UMF in turn will be offering school health education courses for students at Presque Isle so that students on both campuses can achieve this dual certification in both areas. For UMF, I think it also raises the profile of school health education as a standalone degree. We know this is an area that's been designated by the DOE as an area of teacher shortage. And so creating this, crafting this as a degree program unto itself, I think will help the marketing and branding of that as well. And we see it too as a feeder program for instance, University of Maine's graduate program in physical education, that this can be certainly a robust track or feeder for that. So I think I'll actually just pause there then, and I'm happy to take questions. I'm joined also today, as Janine already flagged here, by Kathy Yardley, our Associate Provost and Dean of the College of Education, Health and Rehabilitation. So we're happy to take questions on this.
Any questions or observations?
I have one.
Tim?
Madam Chair. Been a long time now that I've been thinking of doing this in Maine schools and the schools that I've been worked in. We've been trying to look at how we can do a wellness block of time in our schools that collaborates health classes and PE into one block, because they should go hand in hand for student self-care and activities. And I commend this work because I've been thinking about it myself for the last 2 or 3 years, that how can we get Maine schools to look at this more as a comprehensive approach to school health education than just separated one block and another and trying to fit it into a student schedule. So I love this idea. I'm going to push this some more with the superintendents that, this is a chance for us to have this one block of time during the week that we encompass everything around school health and physical education, because I think they need to go hand in hand. So great work on this. I really commend both the universities for working together to make this happen.
Appreciate that, Trustee Doak. Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Yes,
Um,
Chair Irwin.
Yeah, thank you. So in looking at the financial description for this, it doesn't show, it really does, it only shows one number, which is a total new employee salary and benefits figure. And we don't see the rest of the data, increased tuition, other expenses and revenue elements associated with this. So I guess my question is, are you able to fill in those boxes, if you will, with reasonable good faith estimates of what those would be, the way we saw on the previous one, so that the board can look at this and say, yeah, this is revenue neutral or revenue positive. It's not going to increase expenses, which is, I think, obviously a major concern of the board on all of these, is that we're able to understand the financial impact. And this just looks like it's incomplete to me.
This is budget neutral in terms of our expenses on our end. We already offer certification in school health education. So those courses and the instructors for those courses are on the books already. The collaboration with Presque Isle, I defer to Ray on that, but I don't believe there's any increase in expense on their side either. So as far as cost of instruction to generate these additional credit hours and revenue, that is budget neutral, which is maybe why that looks incomplete.
And I'll take criticism.
I'll just concur with what Provost Brown said too. That's completely budget neutral for my institution, as these are regularly scheduled courses, and we have the capacity both for existing online sections that are scheduled annually for these courses, and obviously for adding sections should they become necessary. But that's completely budget neutral, and this would be, frankly, a budget positive for my institution.
I was just going to say the concept of those summary sheets was mid-year. This proposal has been done a while, and we've since improved on those and added exactly what you talked about, Chair Irwin. So a bit my fault there for not circling back to make sure those got the newest version. So we'll make sure that happens in the future.
Okay, thank you.
Other comments or questions? Okay, hearing none. The resolution before the committee is that the Academic and Student Affairs Committee forward the following resolution to the consent agenda for approval at the Board of Trustees meeting on September 28th, 2020. That the Board of Trustees authorizes the creation of the Bachelor of Science in School Health Physical Education. May I have a motion?
I so moved. Mike?
Trustee Mishu, may I have a second?
Second.
Second, Tim.
Trustee Tim seconded. Ellen, would you call the roll, please?
Certainly. Trustee Doak,
Yes.
Trustee Eames,
Yes.
Trustee Irwin,
Yes.
Trustee McMahon,
Yes.
Trustee Mishu,
Yes.
Trustee Tim.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Great, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, to proceed then with the second program here.
Yes.
Okay, so the MSED in mathematics education that you have before you here, I'll just frame it a little bit. Graduate programs at UMF have been around now for a decade, and it has become a core part of UMF transforming from a traditional undergraduate residential profile and currently accounts for nearly 3,000 credit hours annually. That's around 1.2 million in revenue just in those credit hours alone. And we continue to try to grow in this area, and it makes sense for us to align that growth with areas of undergraduate excellence. So in that spirit, we now offer 4 master's degrees. We have 12 graduate certificates and the Maine math coaching program. So this master's in math education would be UMF's 5th master's degree, in addition to a collaborative program with UM and USM to deliver the master's in instructional technology and associated certificates. It builds upon our existing graduate certificates in mathematics coaching K through 8 and 7 through 12. Graduate certificates in mathematics leadership, in mathematics intervention, and the math coaching program to support individuals interested in assuming a leadership role in their schools and districts around math education broadly. So in addition to the math leadership track that is embedded in this degree will also offer a track for those seeking initial certification to teach mathematics in grades 7 through 12. This is again a recognized and designated critical shortage area in the state of Maine. Students enrolled in the mathematics undergraduate program, the BA program, who decide late in their college career they would like to become math teachers can enroll in this program as a 4+1 option. And of course, this would also provide increased opportunities around the state for high school teachers who are interested in teaching early college dual enrollment courses in mathematics to earn that advanced degree. We have a number of full-time faculty, both in mathematics and in education, that will support the program. We're, of course, interested in ways to build out from this around other statewide mathematics partnerships. I guess to sum, in general, graduate programming is a way for UMF to begin to and continue to build transformationally, and that this is an area that we have a fairly well-established history in around math education. And so those two things dovetail here in the program before you.
Thank you.
Do we have any questions or comments?
I just have one question, Madam Chair.
Of course, Trustee Mishu.
Yep. Looking at the projected enrollment with COVID-19, how confident are you that the projection is accurate?
Yeah, that's the question of the day. Boy, I think we started this conversation today with Vice Chancellor Placido talking about the enrollment numbers in general across the system this year. As it really hasn't, we didn't see the huge hit that we thought we might have, and UMF in particular, I think, was very vulnerable to that, given the students, the kind of students population we serve here as a smaller residential campus. But this, this is a hybrid program. I think that we're seeing demand and interest in it that's not been abated by the pandemic per se. Kathy, I don't know if you have any specific data on this in terms of whether that that trajectory looks a little different now than maybe it did when this was originally crafted.
I can't answer that specifically, but what I would like to say is that we had a number of students who were ready to enroll in that program from our coaching program as well as our certificate programs, because it's a nice opportunity for them to bring those credits right into this master's degree program. We had also surveyed a number of our elementary education graduates who indicated an interest in enrolling as well. And a more general comment I'd make about our enrollment is that our enrollment in graduate education, both in the summer and in the fall semester, is at the highest it's ever been. So hopefully that would continue for this program. We have been working hard to think about marketing all of our graduate programs for this year, and we'll be investing in that work.
I would just add, actually, the projections will be off, but in a positive sort of way. particularly professional practice type master's programs will always see an uptick in a downed economy, people coming back to retool and look at new careers. But we couldn't have ever expected the rates of increase that COVID has caused, greater than 20% sort of enrollment increases in these types of programs. So this is another reason I support this type of spread of professional practice or professional master's types programs, that they, while undergraduates may take a dip at the same time that causes undergrads to dip, these programs go up. So you have sort of a leveling effect of your finances.
Great, thank you.
Madam Chair?
Yes, Chair Irwin.
Yeah, two quick points. One is just the one I made before. Somebody confirmed that despite the absence of data with regard to the net economic or fiscal impact of this, that this is projected to be revenue neutral or positive. Is that a fair statement? Okay. And the other thing is more of a long-term strategic question. I think it's great that we have a focus on math leadership and hopefully an effort to address one of Maine's critical challenges, as identified by the Maine Economic Growth Council for years, has been math, 4th and 8th grade math scores relative to other states. And if there's an express kind of recognition of that problem and an effort in the development of programs like this for the Maine's public university system to take on that challenge and improve the quality of math education across the state, I think that would be terrific. That's a real and one that the system is uniquely qualified to address. So I hope that is in the picture.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chair Irwin. Other questions or observations?
Chair Marchese, may I jump in?
Yes.
First of all, I just want to thank Farmington, in particular, Edward and Eric, for their partnership. I think the work that has been done amongst the universities on these education programs is tremendous. We do see our UMA programs as feeding into this master's degree going forward and giving our students an opportunity to continue to contribute. And I think the kinds of innovation that you're seeing in some of these programs today is that little or no cost unless there's growth in the program, and who wouldn't want that problem, but a great opportunity in meeting critical state needs. And so just want to make sure that since we don't get to speak until after this on our own programs, that we weigh in supporting Farmington in their quest.
Thank you, Beck.
Thank you. Other comments or questions?
Yes, could I make a comment, please, Chair?
Yes.
This is Joan. Hi, everybody. I just wanted to come back to Trustee Irwin's comment about the importance of looking at mathematics in the state. And as I believe people know, the University of Maine has been engaged in this for some time through our RISE Center, the Research and STEM Education Center, which does house a Master of Science for teaching in with specialization in mathematics and also a specialization in science. And we look forward to partnering with UMF as they put this degree together, because I do think there can be some synergies, and these interests in a research-oriented look at how to improve K through 12 mathematics teaching is very central for us here at UMaine.
I appreciate that, President Farini-Mundy, and absolutely, we're well aware and respect highly the work of the RISE Center, and the idea of a statewide mathematics partnership. I think this really moves that forward, makes it strengthens regionally, certainly for us. So I look forward to that work as well.
Good.
Thank you. Other questions or observations? Seeing none, the resolution before the committee is that the Academic and Student Affairs Committee forwards the following resolution to the consent agenda for approval at the Board of Trustees meeting on September 28th, 2020. that the Board of Trustees authorizes the creation of the Masters of Science in Education in Mathematics Education. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Trustee Doak. May I have a second?
Second.
Trustee Mishu, second. Ellen, would you take the roll call vote, please?
Certainly. Trustee Doak,
Yes.
trustee Eames,
Yes.
trustee Irwin,
Yes.
trustee McMahon,
Yes.
trustee Mishu,
Yes.
trustee Tim.
Yes.
The motion is carried.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Eric. Trustee Eames, if I'll just briefly introduce that UMA is going to sound very similar to USM's proposal, and I know Joe will do a great job, but I want to recognize and thank them for their patience. These are the two programs that have been on hold for going on 3 years. So there's been a lot of work, dialogue, negotiation, and I think this is the exact right step forward, and look forward to some tremendous growth there at our state's capital. So thank you all, Becky and Joe, for your leadership on this, and look forward to hearing what you have to say.
Okay, thank you. So I have the honor of presenting two programs for consideration: a Bachelor's of Science in Elementary Education and a Bachelor of Science in Secondary Education. Again, there'll be some echoes for what you heard from Provost Uzi here, but basically I'll try to be brief here. The Maine Department of Education has a pathways allowing people to earn their teaching certificate, and UMA has been supporting these students to achieve this goal since 2012 through our liberal studies degree with an education minor. These two degrees are going to support non-traditional students who are juggling work, family, school, many of them part-time, while they're trying to upskill and reskill. This is providing them a path for a student to fulfill their dreams of becoming a teacher, but unable to obtain that in a traditional way. UMA does this through distance education for the place-bound and time-bound students. To date, we have graduated over 145 students using this pathway. Non-traditional students, as Janine mentioned before, have expressed a desire to have a degree in education, not just a BA in liberal studies. Although they earn their teaching certificate, they feel that their education, an education degree will carry more weight when they apply for work. These UMA degrees are focused on a different market segment, the non-traditional student. This, by using distance technologies, this allows us to support our students at our two campuses and our centers throughout the state. I'll just add that in many new program proposals, we're projecting our best we can on what we hope the enrollments will be. With these two programs, we know what these programs are. Currently, we have 151 students enrolled in the elementary education pathway. We have 44 students in our secondary education pathway as well. Over the last few years, thanks to President Wyke, she initiated a Programs of the Future. Our education faculty spent their time to be recognized by the Maine Department of Education as an education preparating partner. We submitted our work. We had our on-site view. We received that, since I have the floor, I'm going to just mention a few commendations from the Maine Department of Education. Was commending our distance mission, our service learning efforts in this pathway, our data-driven decision-making, the relationships that we've built with our sister campuses as well, and the diversity component as well. Without further ado, these are not new programs, but really a name change here. We're formalizing what we are already doing. This program meets a need for non-traditional students. We have the curriculum in place. We have the faculty. We have the space. This is a revenue neutral event. and we're providing students choices. What we find also is that students may start in the elementary pathway and decide that really secondary is a better way of doing that. So tying these two together really does provide more choices for the students. I'll also just add my degree of thanks to Farmington and USM specifically, just for the work we've done together. Many times we have low enrollments in a class. We sometimes move our students over to USM or vice versa, just to make sure that students keep moving forward. I know that UMA and UMF have partnered on methods courses in mathematics where we team taught these things. We expect those to continue. And as President White mentioned, we see the pathways for Farmington's master's programs as opportunities for our students as well. We're fortunate that Dr. Cindy Dean is joining us as well. If you have specific detailed questions for the program, thank you.
Thank you.
Chair Marchese, may I jump in?
Yes.
So I just want to reiterate a couple of points here. First of all, again, thank you to USM and Farmington for their partnership and for Robert Placido for his work with us. It has been a long road for UMA to get to this point, but if we pursue our goal of always putting students at the forefront, this is the right thing to do. This is a program we are already offering. The recent Department of Education recognition allows our students to immediately be recognized upon graduation with a certificate for teaching, as opposed to going through what is basically a portfolio process to evidence that. And I had the opportunity to participate in the Department of Education visit and see the work that our faculty, Cindy Dean and Tim Surratt and others had put forward. It was top notch. It deserved the commendations that it received. And that's particularly important because we're talking for UMA about serving a population of students that not all of our education programs serve well. These are primarily adult students, so 73% are over the age of 25. 62% are taking classes only part-time because they're busy working and raising families. And then about 75% take advantage of taking all of their courses online. And so this is a unique way in which the education program is being offered to some degree. And I think we need to remember that, particularly when we talk about rural Maine, it's critically important that they be able to sort of grow their own educators in their communities. And this is definitely a way to do that. And we should reward those students for their hard work by letting them earn the degree of choice. Thank you.
And thank you both.
Thank you, President White. Other observations or questions? Seeing none. The resolution before the committee is that the Academic and Student Affairs Committee forwards the following resolution to the consent agenda for approval at the Board of Trustees meeting on September 28th of 2020. That the Board of Trustees authorizes the creation of the Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education. May I have a motion?
I so move. Mike?
Trustee Mishu moved. Do I have a second? Trustee Tim?
Yes.
Ellen, would you call the roll, please?
Certainly. Trustee Doak,
Yes.
Trustee Eames,
Yes.
Trustee Irwin,
Yes.
Trustee McMahon,
Yes.
Trustee Mishu,
Yes.
Trustee Tim.
Yes.
The motion is carried.
And Chair Eames, I believe we presented those as a package. If you want to call for questions, go right to the resolution.
All right. I think that's right. We did call them as a package. Are there any other questions with regard to the Bachelor of Science in Secondary Education at UMA?
All good.
Seeing none. Robert, shall we go on to tab 7?
I believe we still
need to
do the,
vote.
yeah, it's separate resolution. Yep. Mhm.
Yeah. All right.
Moves
The
a resolution.
So we'll do tab 6 resolution. I apologize. That the Academic and Student Affairs Committee forward the following resolution to the consent agenda for approval of the Board of Trustees meeting on September 28th, 2020. That the Board of Trustees authorize the creation of the Bachelor of Science in Secondary Education. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Trustee Doak, may I have a second?
Second, trustee Tim.
Tim? Ellen, would you call the roll, please?
Trustee Doak,
Yes.
trustee Eames,
Yes.
trustee Irwin,
Yes.
trustee McMahon,
Yes.
trustee Mishu,
Yes.
trustee Tim.
Yes.
The motion is carried.
Thank you. Now turning to tab 7.
Just briefly, I will say I am very excited to introduce to this group the new provost at University of Maine, Dr. John Voland, and his first presentation today, a topic next to my heart, the Masters of Science in Data Science and Engineering, an internal collaboration between two programs, and something in dire need across the country is more data scientists. So look forward to hearing what you have to say, John.
Actually, Robert, if I might just chime in briefly.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
So yes, we're delighted to welcome John, and I simply want to say that this proposal has been some time in the making. It's multidisciplinary here on the UMaine campus, and I think offers some wonderful connections to the rest of the system as well. And I'm very pleased that we're here to talk to you about it today, particularly because it crosses colleges, departments. It's a model for what we're hoping to be able to do much more of in the future as timely topics come before us and where we need to provide our students with opportunities. So now John can tell you the real details.
Thank you so much, Joan. And thank you, Robert. Good morning, Chairman Eames and members of the ASA committee. It is a pleasure to be here today at my first ASA meeting. I've been at the University of Maine for a month now, and it's been really wonderful. So thank you for this opportunity to present the University of Maine's proposal for the establishment of a Master's of Science degree in Data Science and Engineering. As President Perini Mundi just indicated, this is an interdisciplinary program proposal, and it was developed by a multi-departmental faculty working committee over the last few years. It was chaired by the director of the School of Computing and Information Science, Professor Penny Reigans, and it included, and I'm going to read here, from spatial informatics, electrical and computer engineering, schools of economics, the School of Economics, mathematics and statistics, civil and environmental engineering, the University of Maine at Machias Geographic Information Systems, molecular and biomedical sciences, Marine Business School, education and quantitative methods, and communication and journalism. I didn't want to leave any of those out. That's the reading. But I mention all these units and disciplines because I think it provides a good context for the breadth and depth that is required to develop a robust data science degree. Data science and engineering has emerged as a critical and quickly evolving field for the 21st century. So as a research university with strong expertise in each of those contributing disciplines, UMaine is ready to effectively and quickly implement this degree, along with an associated graduate certificate and a 4+1 offering. The program is founded on UMaine's research expertise, and it seeks to meet really this identified workforce demand for employees who are able to understand and deliver on complex data and analytics challenges. I think the skills associated with data science and engineering really are critical in the collection, in the curation, and use of massive data sets. Essentially, what is often referred to as big data. And additionally important is the ability to render this information usable. So for instance, artificial intelligence, AI techniques are increasingly being used to mine big data and to uncover insights that otherwise would be impossible to illuminate. And this in turn can assist us in decision making. And it transcends a wide range of sectors, including engineering, as you've heard me say, but healthcare, environmental and social sciences, business, industry, and government. And these jobs that it creates are require these high skills are well compensated. They start at over $90,000 per year, and they're growing in number and importance, not only to Maine's economy, but beyond. So thank you for the opportunity to present this proposal to you. I'm really happy to try to address any questions you may have.
Thank you, and welcome.
Thank you.
Comments or questions?
Yes, this is Harlan Ansrud, the faculty representative from the University of Maine. First, let me state that this proposal is very enthusiastically supported from across all the disciplinary domains that were already mentioned. We certainly very much want this to move forward, and we're hoping it would have been moved forward even a year ago. Regardless, one of the things that I noticed here in the proposal that's before you is that all mention of the online offering of the master's degree and the graduate certificate have been removed from the proposal. I think the faculty very much argued, a substantial number of them are arguing that probably doesn't make a lot of sense to offer these this particular degree unless we do offer it online. In addition, we already have sufficient courses across these disciplinary domains that are being offered online, so that from day one, if we were to implement this in January, in essence, we have sufficient courses already being offered online to offer this particular degree. We think we can compete nationally and internationally. In this area, we think we can better serve the state of Maine industry if these offerings are online. So my question is, and maybe it's just a matter of not at this point in time, but maybe do it on campus, but what are the reasons for removing that verbiage, I guess, from the particular proposal?
So Harlan, I'll give that an attempt. I don't have the long history here. It actually, the way I read the proposal is it allows for both online and in-person options. And so I'm guessing the in-person options are for those faculty members that do have that, the in-person courses. As you know, there is a large number of courses students can choose from. So students right now could go in and take this fully online if they so chose to do so. So I actually don't think that's an option, a problem. I think it's going to allow us to actually grow the program and get more faculty involved. But I agree with you, we can compete. So I led a very large effort the last 2 years at the University of Connecticut on this very thing with every dean at the table for the last 2 years. You're right, the time is now to get a data science program such as this and get more and more online offerings with it as we move forward.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you, Harlan.
Just for a quick reminder, Harlan, can you remind people what your area is? Because I think it's relevant to this discussion.
Well, yes, I'm in the School of Computing and Information Science, and I'm also a lawyer engineer, and so I actually deal with the legal, ethical, societal ramifications of these technologies that we're developing and this very large data sets and databases that we're all confronting in our lives. Thank you.
Thank you. Other comments or questions?
Just a quick question, Madam Chair.
Of course.
So if I understand John correctly, if a student wants to do it online, it's completely their options to do it online or in person. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, good. Thank you.
And any other questions or comments?
Madam Chair?
Yes, Chair Irwin.
In the interest of being a consistent nudge on the question of fiscal impact of programs, this one does not appear to be revenue neutral at least at the beginning, and but I don't think we see kind of a bottom line on this proposal. So I mean, I think this is strategically critical, so I'm very much in favor of it, but I'm just curious to know kind of what do we think the payback, when will it start paying back, I guess is the question.
So, I mean, I don't want to oversell it, but I will tell you, I'm actually a little surprised about the projection student numbers. I actually think they'll be much higher than that. You know, there's little investment upfront going into this and going forward. I think we will see in a 2 or 3 year period where the revenue far outstrips what we're putting into it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Other questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll read the resolution that the Academic and Student Affairs Committee forwards the following resolution to the consent agenda for approval at the Board of Trustees meeting on September 28th, 2020. That the Board of Trustees authorizes the creation of the Master of Science in Data Science and Engineering. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Chair Irwin moved. I have a second.
Second. Michelle.
Thank you. Trustee Mishu. Ellen, would you call the roll, please?
Certainly. Trustee Joke,
Yes.
trustee Eames,
Yes.
trustee Irwin,
Yes.
trustee McMahon,
Yes.
trustee Mishu,
Yes.
trustee Tim.
Yes.
The motion is carried.
Thank you, Ellen. We are a bit ahead of schedule, but I think it probably makes sense if we're going to take a 5-minute break to do it now. And then we'll begin with tab 9. So
Thank you.
For about 5 minutes. Oh, yeah, that works. I think we'll go ahead and get started. All right. And at this point, I will turn the program over to Jim Thalen for an update on unified accreditation, please.
Thanks, Chair Eames. I think Vice Chancellor Paslito wanted to have a brief introductory comment, and then I'll take back over.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. So as you've already heard, the work for unifying the system is well underway. In addition to all of the work we demonstrated in just that one program, we have, and under the Chancellor and Jim Thielen's leadership, and you'll hear more about this in a minute, have undertaken a review of just about everything that we do to understand, does it still follow the spirit of what we intend for unified accreditation, and that's all the way down to our practices and procedures. So with that, I will turn it over to Jim to give an update on our progress.
Sure. Thanks, Robert. I'll do a bit of a nuts and bolts review of where we are at the moment. You'll recall that NETCHI confirmed unified accreditation for the system in the same week that we made our presentation to the Commission at the end of June. In July, I believe it was July 17th, we received a letter from NETCHI that outlined what their expectations are for the University of Maine system in these next 2 years. You may recall, as the Chancellor described the recommendation and through the process that we were looking into how we would achieve unified accreditation, the Chancellor often referenced this 2-year period as being the most important work that we would do, because we would all work together, university leaders, faculty leaders, system leaders, to really put the flesh around the bones, if you will, of how we would operate together to achieve the kind of program efficiencies and collaborative benefits by working together to share resources and academic programs to really realize the full opportunity of unified accreditation. Well, not surprisingly, NETCHI wants to hear how our progress is on that at certain stages through these next 2 years. So the first thing that will come up is what the Commission refers to as a confirming visit. NETCHI will send a small team. Now, of course, all of this depends on how we operate and what the status of the pandemic is next spring. But sometime late next spring, NETCHI will send a small team that will visit a number of our universities and meet with system and university leaders, faculty leaders, to essentially say, prove to us that what you said in the substantive change application for unified accreditation is what you're actually beginning to do. How is it working out in practice? And for example, they want to see how we are working with the System Faculty Governance Council that we've brought together of leaders of each university's faculty senate or assembly. How is that working? What are they involved in? What kinds of academic and shared governance matters is that body providing input on? We'll want to prepare and address that in a report to NETCHI. And they've also asked us to report on initial steps that we're taking to prepare for and plan the larger self-study that leads to what's called a comprehensive evaluation visit in fall of 22, so 2 years from now. And for that effort, we will go through the 9 NETCHI standards about governance and academic program and faculty and student support and data and integrity and assessment and outcomes. And we will have drafting teams and review teams that will be populated by people from across our university system. So including faculty leaders, university and system leaders. And what we've done to begin organizing for that effort is had each of our presidents and the dean of the law school identify people across their universities and their school who can be considered to work on each of those committees that will address each of the 9 NETCHI standards. We want to make sure that we have significant and robust faculty involvement in that process throughout. So we're building the staffing plan right now, if you will, for how we will organize that effort. And I would expect, if not by the full board meeting in September, then certainly in November or the next ASA meeting, I think we'll have a more final plan that we can discuss with you there. But I wanted to be clear that that's the type of work that we're engaged in right now in this very early stage of having unified accreditation and preparing for the initial reporting that NECHI will expect of us on our efforts so far. I did want to highlight too the specific issues that NECHI has already asked that we look ahead to address in our comprehensive self-study. And that does include, for example, the academic program review from a system-wide perspective. And I think the best example we can give you on that is the kind of effort that Vice Chancellor Placido is leading with the statewide strategic program plans for our academic programs. NECHI will want to see that we have a system-wide, statewide perspective on how we review our current academic programs and consider investing in new programs in a shared and collaborative way, considering the resources, faculty expertise, and student needs at our different universities across the state. Another area that NECHI has asked us to focus on comes out of the recent reaccreditation of the University of Maine. Because under unified accreditation, all individual university reporting on issues it has now been folded into a system-wide perspective with unified accreditation. NECHI nonetheless wanted us to address at a statewide, system-wide level what our research plans are for expanding research to meet state needs and doctoral level education, which of course is primary at the flagship. So we will be addressing that in the self-study as well. And then a perennial interest of NECHI's throughout this entire process will be how are we governing ourselves internally and particularly with respect to faculty shared governance and the system faculty governance council that I talked about earlier. So those are the kinds of issues that we'll be focusing on, both looking ahead to the spring visit that I mentioned a minute ago, and then the broader self-study effort that will be in advance of the comprehensive evaluation visit that NECHI will conduct 2 years from now in the fall of 22. Maybe I'll pause and ask if there are any questions there. Otherwise, the next issue I'll turn to is the language we put forward to consider revising Board Policy 308. But again, happy to answer questions where we are at the moment.
Any questions?
Invite comment from any of our system colleagues or presidents or academic colleagues on the call with us as well.
Comments, questions? Well, Jim, it looks like you're good to go on 308.
You will have seen in your committee meeting materials that we've brought back in front of you a proposed revision to Board Policy 308. Policy 308, of course, is the policy that states the board's general support and encouragement of the accreditation of our universities within the system. That was status quo for a number of years. Now with a unified accreditation, it's our strong belief and recommendation that this policy should be updated to reflect the board's support of ongoing unified accreditation with our universities accredited together. That's not to say that we don't also support program level, university level, professional and program oriented accreditations, which is captured in the guiding principles that we presented with the unified accreditation recommendation. I won't go through and read the proposed revision. I would note that the law school dean softly suggested that we beef up the language a little bit about program and professional accreditations in the second paragraph. But otherwise, this has been before our presidents already. We incorporated what feedback we got there and invite your thoughts, consideration. And I would simply note that as a board policy, we would follow the typical practice we have in the recent past of presenting this here, reflecting any changes that the committee here feels, and then taking it as an information item to the board at the end of September, and then coming back asking for approval in the November board meeting. And of course, we'll have another ASA meeting ahead of that where we can address any final revisions to the language that we've made in the meantime, based on your input from our presidents, faculty representatives, and other academic leaders.
Do we have any questions or concerns, observations for Jim Thalen?
I think I saw Chair Irwin's hand.
Okay, Chair Irwin.
Thank you. In reading this the other day and reading it again this morning, I'm a little struck by how uninspiring it is. It is very much a neutral kind of description of what accreditation is, and I wonder if the system would benefit, and I'd be interested to know if other board members see it this way, whether we could improve this a bit by providing, something about the strategic importance of why we went through this in terms of seeking it, and what we think it brings to the University of Maine system going forward, which we don't touch on that at all. And maybe this isn't the place for it, but it struck me that we could provide a little bit of the story here, so that when people come back and look at this in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, there's a reference point that was created at the time that unified accreditation became reality, that is embedded into our policy as to what the reason was for doing it. So I'll throw that out as a maybe a question for others to react to. We got plenty of time to wordsmith this a bit, and I'll leave it at that.
Other trustees, other thoughts?
I'd just be curious to hear Jim Thalen's sort of response to Trustee or Chair Irwin's question.
I did have an initial reaction, but I wondered if there were any other trustee or president or chancellor comments ahead of that. But I'm happy to share it subject to that.
I think I'll join the conversation on this point, Jim, if I might, Chair. Obviously, we're trying to do a number of things here, specifically bring into alignment our language in our policies with respect to how we're accredited. And since we're now accredited this way, it's probably important that we get in alignment with that as quickly as possible. I think we are moving rapidly. Every president, every provost where they exist, everyone at the system offices understanding that we are implementing a unified accreditation and looking, quite frankly, for how we use that form of accreditation to improve our programs throughout the entirety of the system. We can certainly speak to that in the policy. I hadn't thought of it, quite frankly, but I appreciate the suggestion that we can have more verbiage that speaks to why this is important and how it's important. But ultimately, we do need to bring the policy in alignment, I think, relatively quickly so that we can demonstrate to NETCHI that we've done that. So I guess it's a chicken and the egg. We need to come in alignment. We need to recognize, as they have, our reliance on a unified accreditation. But certainly every day around here is spent in discussions with all of the campuses, all the universities, excuse me, with respect to how we use unified accreditation going forward. In fact, that rather robust discussion about new programs that we had earlier today, even though almost everything on that agenda had been pending for a long period of time, well before we had taken the step of moving and being granted unified accreditation. But how many times mention was made of unified accreditation with respect to how we got those items actually on the agenda. And it's a certainty. I can assure you that was not a surprise. We had expected unified accreditation to come about for at least the entirety of the time that I've been with the system. And we've been implementing our thoughts, our ideas, our concepts, and quite frankly, what unified accreditation means to the system. I did, in a discussion with the presidents last week and others, refer to that batch of programs approvals which you've acted on as really our last such vote and such suggestions on a unified accreditation basis. Going forward, everything we'll do obviously will reflect that, and we will adjust our internal policies with respect to new programs to strengthen the review on a unified accredited basis of the participation of the suggesting university that wants to add a program, but a far more robust comment period required of the universities that currently have those programs, all of which is intended to drive how we maximize educational efficiency while expanding programs when appropriate, quite frankly, perhaps eliminating programs more rapidly when appropriate. So I think that it certainly is, it is what we are right now, a unified accredited institution that is moving more solidly in the direction of multi-university interaction on the educational missions through program, not consolidation, cooperation, and we move forward. Jim?
Yeah, thanks, Chancellor. I'm going to offer a caveat. I think the word Chair Irwin used was whether we could make this language more inspiring. I'm not sure we will meet that charge, but I did have the thought that both as well as the Chancellor was talking, that maybe one way to do this, to speak to the point that Chair Irwin made, is to go a little bit further in this policy by acknowledging that any future work with mission, strategic plan, academic program review will include specific reference to the benefits sought to be achieved through unified accreditation. So it's not so much to add a lot of new language to this policy, but to note that everything else we do as a system, as a collection of universities acting together, should always have at the forefront the ideas and outcomes and benefits that we expect to achieve by having adopted this new accreditation model. So I don't have the language at the tip of my tongue for how we might do that. I'm not sure it will be inspiring, but I think it's possible to do that.
Thank you, Jim. And thank you, Chair Irwin. Other comments or questions?
If I could just respond, just to thank both the Chancellor and Jim Thalen for those comments. And I think what you're suggesting, Jim, is probably actually a better articulation of what I was getting at anyway. I do note that in a number of our policies, there is an aspirational element to them, where we say the board thinks this is important, the board values this, the board supports this, the board wants this outcome, et cetera. And so I think an expression of that nature, but the substance of it is what you're talking about, Jim, which is to guide future leadership in understanding that this has to be kind of a touchstone for the way we operate. So I think that would be really appreciated. I'm sure we can come up with something that meets that without adding more than a sentence or two to this thing. So thank you.
Okay, sure.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll turn to tab 10. Is there anything that the faculty or the faculty representative would like to discuss or bring forward?
Madam Chair, this is Clyde Mitchell. I wanted to just
Clyde.
I wanted to say two things. The one was firstly to thank Robert Placebo and David Demers for all the work they've done to make it possible for us to be back teaching in classes and teaching through hybrid modalities. I think if we hadn't accommodated the students and made them feel safe, I think financially it could have been a lot worse. And I certainly appreciate all the work that they've done to make it possible. It was quite miraculous what they managed to pull off in such a short period of time. So that was my first thing to say thank you. My other comment is I was very excited about the discussions earlier in today's meeting about the collaboration across the system between the different campuses. And I'm looking forward to those discussions moving into other disciplines. I think there are a lot of opportunities where that kind of system-wide collaboration could result in us serving the population of Maine, particularly in the rural areas, a lot better. And yeah, I think I'll just leave it at that, but I really hope that work continues in other areas. So thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you,
Clyde,
Clyde.
thank you for your comments. We appreciate them.
I just had a quick comment.
Yes.
Hi, Tim Surratt from UMA. Just a brief comment. I just wanted to thank the board for its support of so many excellent education degree programs across the system. It's really exciting to see as someone who's in education, been in education my entire life. It's great to see. Thank you.
Thank you.
I had a couple comments. I want to echo what Clyde said of especially Robert Placido and Chip Govan and all the work and all the reentry teams. We're in week 3 and so far so good. So I know there's been a lot of prep work gone into that to have a lot of live classes for students who wanted it. The other thing I had was a question that a few people had raised with me. I don't know necessarily that it's an ASA question, but I noticed that we are now Zooming on or streaming on YouTube. So my question is the full board meeting going to be like that as well? Because I had people who want to see it, not just listen, and also people who were interested in citizen comment and saying it's kind of odd to be doing citizen comment but not being in the Zoom. So is that what's going to happen for the full board meeting as far as the video streaming on YouTube, but citizen comment would still be signing up by phone? Thank you.
Chair Ames, I'd be happy to respond.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Yes, our board meetings will be live streamed on YouTube as well. Citizen comment, we will be encouraging folks to contact the board office prior to the meeting by 5 p.m. the Friday before the meeting if they wish to speak during citizen comment. Excuse me. And there will be a 1-800 number for them to phone in to participate.
Thank you. And the schedule for the board meeting of when citizen comment is, because I know sometimes it's usually at 8, but sometimes if there's an executive session, it won't be till 1. They can expect a good week's notice. So we should be hearing like maybe next week of what the board schedule is.
We should anticipate an agenda posted to the website Thursday or Friday of this week. It's usually about 10 days prior to the meeting.
Thank you, Ellen. Thank you, Lisa. Any other comments from the faculty? Seeing none, I'll turn to tab 11. Are there any students on this meeting that would like to bring in any issues or thoughts or comments forward? Okay, seeing none, I will turn to tab 12 and turn the agenda over to President Farini Monday, Dan and Jim.
Thanks, Chair Eames. This, I believe, is a brief information item for you related to the arrangement that the board has put in place. Now, it's been in place for several years. The primary partnership between the University of Maine and the University of Maine at Machias, which also describes the University of Maine at Machias as a regional campus of the University of Maine. And so the sort of on the ground work to move from the way things were in 2017 to where we are headed now to fully realize that regional campus definition has been underway with multiple committees and multiple work. And actually, we would like the chance at some appropriate point to update you. There are many lessons for unified accreditation as well, but the arrangement is slightly different. And the U.S. Department of Education has made a ruling in a sense that henceforth, beginning this academic year, University of Maine at Machias's Title IV financial aid falls underneath that of the University of Maine. And I'll turn to Jim in a moment to say a bit more. But on a practical level, what that means is that we aren't able to release financial aid or manage financial aid related transactions with University of Maine at Machias students any longer under a separate designation, but in fact, they need to be folded underneath University of Maine. So practically, UMaine has been handling the financial aid administration for Machias for some time, but there is a practical matter here where University of Maine at Machias students on their FAFSA forms now need to designate a UMaine number rather than a UMaine Machias number. And so we are in the middle of doing that processing essentially by hand right now. To take care of it for this academic year and immediately engaging in the process that will make this a more automatic and straightforward activity going forward. But Jim may wish to add more. There have been long negotiations and conversations over years with the U.S. Department of Ed on this, and we knew we would be at this point at some stage.
Sure, thanks, President Fredy-Mundy. I want to call out and explain a point that the President alluded to a minute ago. This is different than the arrangements that we were working on for unified accreditation for the system as a whole. In that, for unified accreditation relative to federal financial aid, we are working on an outcome with the U.S. Department of Education that allows each university that was accredited as of, I'm going to give you the date, as of June 30, 2020, that was the day before unified accreditation became effective. The U.S. Department of Education and we and NECHI are discussing a scenario where, because the universities had their own accreditation as of June 30th, they will continue to be eligible to manage federal financial aid programs on their own. That's different than what the status of Machias was. Machias relinquished its accreditation 2 years ago when the primary partnership became effective, and it became subject to the University of Maine's accreditation. So the U.S. Department of Education is focusing on that to say, because Machias was not accredited in the last 2 years, they can't separately manage or process their own financial aid. It has to go through the University of Maine. Now, intuitively, that all makes sense. There's a lot of work behind the scenes that we don't want our students to ever feel the impact of, other than to know that they're going to continue to receive their financial aid. But I want to call out the work that President Fredy-Mundy's financial aid teams, our system, Chief Information Officer David Demers, building the network infrastructure so that we can process that appropriately, that a Machias student can receive financial aid through the University of Maine. Requires a lot of work under the hood, if you will, to make sure that we can streamline how that's processed and reported properly for financial aid purposes. So we're doing a lot of work. We don't want our students to feel any input from that, and it will not be the model that we are pursuing for the system as a whole with unified accreditation. That's the goal of what we wanted to report here today. Apologize for the detail and the regulatory behind the scenes, but it's important work that we need to make sure we get done right.
And if I may just add a follow on to Jim and President Fredy-Mundy's comments, I wanted to thank UM's team They have responded to this in a first-rate way. That is our most complicated process internally for us. It's also the most complicated process for our students and their families. FAFSAs are a scary thing to face. So Joan's teams are calling every single student that has an impact, which is almost all of them at Machias, one-on-one to make sure they understand what has happened and how to transition their FAFSA over to UM. So it's really an incredible amount of work and a great process that they've stood up and in COVID, starting fall. I mean, you just couldn't ask for more pressure, and they've risen to the challenge. So thank you, Joan.
Thank you. It's been a great team effort. System folks, as Jim mentioned, also central in it. And the goal is we will do this in a sense, case by case by hand this fall, but by next year we have this automated and more transparent or opaque or something to students, but whatever it is that will ensure that the students aren't being disrupted.
Any questions or comments from the board? Or from anyone for that matter? Seeing none, I'll thank you for that update. And thank you also for working so hard to help our Machias students get the financial aid they need. I believe we are now at tab 13, and I'll turn the program back to Jim Thalen.
And Chair Eames, I'll jump in here again. Just really quickly on this one, where we brought this to you in the summer. We would like to change board policy 205 to include a faculty and a student rep from our law school, as we're trying to recognize them as an independent entity. We took your recommendations to that language to heart, came back, made some edits you see there in the board book, really just trying to clarify that we are getting one faculty member and one graduate student from the law school to represent us all. Jim, did you have any other comments on that?
No, only to note that there's no controversy here from our perspective, and I would defer to anything else that Dean Softly may want to add.
I have very little to add except my gratitude that everyone has taken the steps necessary so that there will be faculty and student representation. Everybody's very excited to be at this table, and we appreciate your work.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Well, I'd just like to say I think this is long overdue, and I'm excited about this proposal. So with that, I will read the resolution that the Academic and Student Affairs Committee forwards this item to the September 28th, 2020 Board of Trustees meeting for approval of the following resolution. That the Board of Trustees accepts the recommendation of the Academic and Student Affairs Committee and approves the proposed new Board Policy 205 to allow the law school to have one graduate student and one faculty as representatives on the board to be effective on October 1, 2020. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Trustee Mishu, do I have a second?
Second.
Trustee
Tim.
Irwin? Ellen, would you take the roll call vote, please?
Trustee Doak,
Yes.
trustee Eames,
Yes.
trustee Irwin,
Yes.
trustee McMahon,
Yes.
trustee Mishu,
Yes.
trustee Tim.
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Thank you. Before we go into executive session, I would just, I probably should have opened with this, but I'll do it now. On behalf of the trustees, I would like to thank Chancellor Malloy, all of the presidents, and all of the staff that have worked tirelessly in opening the campuses in a safe, thoughtful manner. I have been so proud to be part of just this, of the system, as you all have worked so hard in protecting our students. Dan Demerit's email yesterday, I think there were just 3 people in isolation, and it was just wonderful. And I just want to thank you for all your good, hard work. It's very much appreciated. And particularly when you look across the country at other universities and campuses that are not having our success. I know it's day to day, but I'm still I'm very proud to be part of this in this opening. You've done a great job, all of you. And with that, I will look for a motion for the Board of Trustees meeting to go into executive session under the provisions of 1 MRS Section 4056A to discuss the consideration and discussion of appointments, employment, and duties, and 6E to discuss a topic where premature general public knowledge would clearly place the state, municipality, or other public agency or person at a substantial disadvantage. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Trustee Irwin, do I have a second?
Second, Tim.
Trustee Tim. Ellen, would you take the roll?
Trustee Doak,
Yes.
trustee Ames,
Yes.
trustee Irwin,
Yes.
trustee McMahon,
Yes.
trustee Mishu,
Yes.
trustee Tim.
Yes.
The motion is carried.
All right, and I think I turn this over to President Farini Mundy. Oh, not yet.
Yeah, you got to head over to executive session first.
think we're all back in public session. And with that, I will read the resolution that the Academic and Student Affairs Committee forwards tenure at the time of hire Professor of Forest Resources to the September 28th, 2020 Board of Trustees meeting for approval of the following resolution: that the Board of Trustees approve tenure at the rank of Professor of Forest Resources at the University of Maine to Dr. John Volan with tenure to be effective at the time of hiring. May I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved by Chair Irwin, seconded by Trustee Timms. Ellen, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Certainly. Trustee Doak,
Yes.
Trustee Eames,
Yes.
Trustee Irwin,
Yes.
Trustee McMahon,
Yes.
Trustee Mishu,
Yes.
Trustee Tim.
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Thank you. Next item is resolution that the Academic and Student Affairs Committee forward tenure at the time of hire to Dr. Hassan to the September 28th, 2020 Board of Trustees meeting for approval of the following resolution: that the Board of Trustees approves tenure at the rank of Associate Professor of Computer Science at the University of Maine at Presque Isle to Dr. Hassan with tenure to be effective at the time of hiring. May I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved by Trustee Doak. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Mishu. Ellen, would you call the roll, please?
Trustee Doak,
Yes.
Trustee Eames,
Yes.
Trustee Irwin,
Yes.
Trustee McMahon,
Yes.
Trustee Mishu,
Yes.
Trustee Tim.
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Thank you. And then the final item, well, first of all, congratulations to Dr. Volin and Dr. Hassan. And then the final item, I'll turn the program on tab 16 over to Robert Placido.
Thank you. Yes, and let me offer my congratulations as well. It's well earned and great to have both of them on our team. Final item on our agenda, and boy, we are welcome the early adjournment of the meeting. We'll begin each year. We formulate a work plan for Academic Student Affairs Committee of the board. The work plan is intended to cover both action items required for governance of the University of Maine system and the topics that are important and of interest to the board. So we've submitted the draft plan for your consideration. We typically amend it throughout the year, but this is what we expect going forward.
Thank you, Robert. Do we have any comments, questions?
Madam Chair.
Yes, Chair Irwin.
Yeah, I would just note with regard to the 5-year strategic plan reaffirmations, which are on here for action by this committee today and by the board at a September meeting, that we've taken a bit of a time out there with respect to UMPI, and would have done the same, I think, for any strategic plan that had come our way at this time. And I suspect there will be more as they cycle through their 5-year period. And I just wanted to comment briefly on my thought as to why that was an appropriate thing to do. I think that, and this is not a reflection of the UMPI plan, which has a lot of tremendously good thinking in it, but I think the board and the system needs to provide some a little bit more direction from a strategic direction, I would say, with regard to how we envision unified accreditation, helping the system meet its strategic goals, and how we do that in a fiscally sustainable way, provide more flexibility for students, and improve quality across the system. So that's a task that the board needs to take up with system leadership, and we've had numerous discussions about it. We were sidelined a bit, fully understandably, by the yeoman effort that system leadership has undertaken to make sure that we could open this fall, and that has been all-consuming, fully understandable, and just I'll echo Chair Marchese's thanks on that score, which has just been a tremendous effort. We know it's ongoing. We know it's not as if they're all done with that now. We can just move on to life as usual. We obviously know that's not the case. Nevertheless, I think the board is anxious to work with leadership to provide that kind of strategic direction, so that when these campus strategic plans come back to the board, everybody is basically working off the same strategic direction that the board needs to be clear about it. So that's the reason for the pause, and I would expect that we will, in a matter of a few months, be able to kind of rekindle this effort. But I want to thank President Rice for his understanding, and Vice Chancellor Placido as well, that if we're only going to do this once every 5 years, let's not have to redo it again in 1 year. Let's get it right. And so thank you for that.
If I may, Madam Chair.
Yes, of course.
So UMA is also in the middle of its strategic planning process, and I expect that I have a couple of sister institutions that I'm pretty sure are also in the middle of that process. So timing is important. We have been aligning around the 2018 Declaration of Strategic Priorities, and that is how the substantive change to NETCHI was also written up. So to Jim Thielen's earlier point, when they come back and kind of check on us, this is one of the things that they will be checking on, as it is what we outlined we were doing. So I think it would be really helpful if the presidents and the chancellor could have some discussion around this. I think if the board wants to update its 2018 Declaration of Strategic Priorities, that the sooner that happens so we can align with whatever that is better, because it's hard. I'm trying to figure out how we would put the brakes on what we're doing, because we literally have to just stop in order to wait for whatever the new guidance is. And that's what my concern is. So I think there's a bit of work to do around here and how these plans relate to accreditation as well.
So, Madam Chairman.
Yes, of course, Chancellor, go right ahead.
Yeah, this is with respect to the temporary pause, this is a relatively new development, and I'm sure, Becky, that we can have discussions amongst the presidents and central staff and how to appropriately reflect the work that will be carried out in the same 5-year period of time with respect to unified accreditation. So of course, we'll have additional discussions. I understand where the chair is coming from and his desire to have those plans be coordinated in their use or reliance on unified accreditation going forward. So we'll get to the bottom of it. I promise you, Becky.
And I just want to add, if I get to, I very much appreciate the Chair Irwin's comments and my thanks for your thoughts on the plan. I do want to reassure him and other board members that we undertook this plan because I've been a pretty organic part of one university and unified accreditation throughout this process. And those are the basic principles that we undertook as part of this plan. Megan Clough was especially helpful in coordinating that. And keeping our mind on those issues, particularly the board priorities as named by President Wyke. So, and as my campus knows, I view a strategic plan as a living document that gets re-evaluated and revised annually to begin with. So it'll be built, Trustee Irwin, to ensure that we can make those adjustments as the system moves through these, through these determinations. But appreciate very much the situation. I do think too, it'll be helpful for NECHI to be able to see 1 or 2 strategic plans approved by the board before their visit in the spring. That to President White's point, that they can see that these issues are moving forward as part of unified accreditation, and we'll do everything we can to facilitate that.
Chair Irwin, did you have anything further you wish to say?
No, I would just thank all, the Chancellor, Becky, and Ray for their observations. This is important. I understand the need for swiftness with regard to getting to a point where there's clarity on this, and I think there was already quite a bit of clarity. But in order to be certain that there is alignment and no gap between what the board thinks unified accreditation is and what the universities think it is, I think we have to go through a bit more of a process, and I think we can do that relatively quickly. So that's, I'll stop there, but thank you all. I appreciate it.
Thank you. So thank you, Robert, for the work plan. And looks like we certainly have plenty to do in the upcoming year.
Thank you, Chair. Thanks.
Unless someone corrects me, which you are certainly welcome to do, it looks like we have completed our agenda.
Yes, ma'am.
I also think that our next ASA meeting on your calendar should be for October 26th from 9 to noon. I assume that will still be by Zoom.
Yes.
And I want to thank you all for your participation today.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
I'm told I don't need a motion or a vote to adjourn, so I will declare this meeting adjourned, and I hope you all have a nice couple weeks until we see you at the board meeting. Thank you.
You.
Bye-bye.
Bye.